DAS Today is a presentation of the Descendants of American Slaves, Inc. with Dr. Gerald Higginbotham. For more information, visit descendantsofamericanslaves.com.
Hi, welcome to the DAS Today Show. This is where you can get the information, where you can be empowered to bring about change in the community. Most folks don't know what DAS means, so let me share it with you. That is the Descendants of American Slave radio talk show. And so today we have a guest that we're going to bring it to you live all the way from Greenwood, Oklahoma. Now, this place here is kind of special. This week is kind of special for them because they had a celebration. It's tied to the Black Wall Street. And we have the community liaison on board today, Miss Sherry Smith. I'd like to welcome you to the DAS Today Show. Welcome, Sherry Smith.
Thank you so much.
It's an honor to have you on board the DAS Today Show. I'm so excited to have you on board because you got some information down there that we need so we can begin to bring about change here in America.
Yes, we do.
Now,
we are trying to make a change.
Well, and the American Slave Inc. would like to pull on the side of you guys and the Life Organization so we can all do it together and make an impact where we can see serious change in our nation, because we are the descendants of American slaves. We are America's firstborn. And so therefore we have firstborn rights to this nation. The slave nation was here before many of the immigrants. The slaves never did immigrate to America. They were birthed down on those plantations in the South. But that's enough about talking about that. I'm excited about finding out about Greenwood and what you guys are doing down there. You're part of the Chamber of Commerce. Why you guys?
Yes.
Why the Chamber of Commerce? How did it come into existence and why?
Well, the Greenwood Chamber of Commerce started in 1938, and we had some of our North Tulsa black businessmen, led by Mr. E.W. Clark, met for a purpose for organizing an effective medium of business, civic, and social expression. In this group, you had very prominent men like J.T.A. West, Amos T. Hall, F. Melvin Payne, E.L. Goodwin, M.M. Mann, J. Hughes, D.A. Wayne, Thomas R. Gentry, Robert Fairchild, and Reverend J.N. Wallace. These men got together and they organized the Greenwood Chamber of Commerce in 1938. The leaders of this movement voted unanimously to elect as their president Mr. Clark, and these men all have witnessed the bloodiest race riot in our 1921 race riot here on Greenwood. And so they, after that, they decided that we have to get this community back together, and so they were going to create this Chamber of Commerce so that people can come in and communities can come in and be a part of this. And so that's how we got started, with these prominent men coming together and trying to reestablish and rebuild Greenwood.
And so what did you guys do, though? I mean, I know you said you came to rebuild, but what were you guys rebuilding? I mean, was it businesses or was it organizations or just trying to strengthen the community? I was just curious to if you could tighten that up for me or tighten it up for our listening audience.
Okay, the Greenwood Chamber. It's an organization. It evolved after the Tulsa race riot in 1921, and has survived the best and the worst economic times. But this rebuilding began in the late 20s, and Greenwood had been very strong and very prominent, and they called it the Little Black Wall Street because we had so many different businesses. We had like over 240 entrepreneurs, and Greenwood came in and they had over like 600 businesses, and I'll kind of break the 600 businesses down. There were 21 churches, 21 restaurants, 30 grocery stores, and 2 movie theaters. And we lost all of this in the race riot. But we couldn't just sit still and let something that was built out of sweat and blood, and we took so much pride. We couldn't, in Tulsa, we couldn't go out and buy and sell outside of our community. So that's how Greenwood started. So these men got together after this riot, and they decided to rebuild this area, because they didn't want to go down in history of this is what happened, this was a bad thing that happened, and after that, no one, they just left it at that. So Mr. Clark and these other gentlemen came together, and they started the Greenwood Chamber in 1938 because we wanted our businesses back. We wanted Black Wall Street back.
You know what? This is the Tulsa race riot of 1921 then. It has rarely been mentioned in the history books or even in the classrooms.
Definitely.
This is one of the first riots that we've had here in America. Wow, America don't talk about this kind of stuff. I got a question for you. How can an organization or business get their foot in the door at the Chamber of Commerce? What can we do? How can we make that a reality?
Through me.
Hey.
I am the membership chair, along with the community liaison, and we have a little short process. We have an application that we have it online on our website, which is www.greenwoodchambertulsa.com, and you can get those that are locally or out of our city and state can go online and print out our application, and we have just a few little levels that you could help you become a member. And that we have a student level, we have an individual level. The student level is like $50, and then the individual level. Then we have a 501c3 organization, and business, and large business, and corporate.
Excellent. Now, we only get 1 to 2% of the billions of dollars set aside for minority business. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce have kept the descendants of American slave culture out. How can we overcome this?
By hooking up with Dr. G and your organization.
Hey! You go.
That's your shout out. But coming together, and because we have people all across our nation that have the wisdom and the knowledge to help us overcome. But we don't always want to work together as a race. And we don't all know what it takes to overcome this problem. So we need people like you, Dr. G, and people like Dr. Art Williams. He's our consultant, and he's our director, and he's a history major, and he's a researcher, and he likes to network. And if we're networking and we're we're coming together and we're sharing information, we can overcome anything.
I believe you. I believe you, Miss Smith. You know what? I was thinking that networking is the key to us really overcoming. And you know what? I'd love to do something similar to what you guys are doing in my neck of the woods. What would it take to start a descendant of American slave chamber of commerce in the St. Louis area? I'm just curious. I mean, how did you told me men, it's obvious people are going to have to come together, business people that want to make it happen. But I mean, the protocol is, how are you organized? I mean, are you guys a 501(c) or 501(c)? Or, I mean, how does that all process work? I'm just curious.
Well, we are both 501c3 and 501c6. We have different, we're the Greenwood Chamber of Commerce, but we also have the Greenwood Community Development Corporation and the Greenwood Business Resource Center. And our mission is to create economic opportunities, businesses, and jobs. In turn, we want to assist and stimulate and develop North Tulsa, but not just North Tulsa. We want to share this with other communities. We want other communities, like other chambers, are doing similar things. And we want to come together, brothers and sisters, and share our information. You have information that can help us. So with you networking with us and contacting us, reaching out to us, coming down and sharing the vision, then we can start. We can do the same thing you're doing in Tulsa that you're doing in St. Louis.
All right. Well, I got to take a commercial break right here. I'll be back. Stand by.
One thing could throw you completely off balance.
I was diagnosed on February 19th of this year. I remember the day vividly, even down to the type of socks I wore that day, and received, of course, news that no woman wants to hear.
And you could deal with that hurt for a long time.
Devastating only to hear the words cancer, knowing that it doesn't have to be a death sentence, but it is a very difficult diagnosis to hear.
But it doesn't have to take you down.
It was a challenge, so it took some time to get used to.
Take it on one piece at a time. Take 5.
For me, it's prayer, and it is reaching out to support of my husband and my friends that I have. That has worked for me. Being alone sometimes is a good moment because it gives you an opportunity to reflect.
A setback is merely a setup for a comeback. You can work it out. Take care of your mental health just like you would anything else. Be alive and well. Find out more about what you can do to bounce back. Go to aliveandwellstl.com.
And we're back on the air with the DAS show today with our special guests from Tulsa, Oklahoma. They got a sister down there that got it going on in Greenwood, Oklahoma, and they're bringing Wall Street back. By the way, what was Wall Street, Sherry? Tell me a little bit about Wall Street.
Wall Street was a black community that we actually turned over money. We were self-sufficient. We kept our money within our community. We were forced to do that, but because we were forced to do that, we became very prosperous and successful. All the businesses, because we supported each other. Our money stayed within our community. So it became one of the, like a mini Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills now, well, we were like a mini community, like a mini Beverly Hills is what I heard, how I heard it on YouTube one day. These businesses were so successful because our people kept our money in our community.
Well,
and so they named us Black Wall Street because of our prosperity and our success.
Would you contribute that to that we had to shop together? We had to create our own business enterprises because of the segregation laws that prevented us from shopping anywhere else?
Yes.
Do you think?
It's part, yeah. It forced us to stay. We couldn't buy anywhere else, so we had to create our own grocery stores. We had to start have our own theaters for entertainment, clothing stores, banks, you name it, whatever it takes for a community, even a city. We were a mini city, a city to survive. We had to have it within our own community.
Well, then, wait a minute. If it was so successful and you guys was doing the right thing, well, then why did they burn it down? And who burned it down?
Well, fear and jealousy, envy from our white race because of the success, and that we became more successful than the city of Tulsa, which were predominantly white. They could not stand that. They didn't want to see us as black people. And I know you don't like that word, Dr. Gerald. You're working with me. You're working on me to change that. But it was a lot of envy. It was a lot of fear of us taking over and being greater, and they wanted to make that money. They wanted our money. So they tried to hold us down and hold us back, thinking that by not letting us buy and sell from them, thinking that that was going to destroy the community. But we rose above that, and we did. And I know it was through God, because we, as African Americans, we are truly God believers, and we have trusted in God through slavery. But God brought us to a level of success, and they could not stand that. And so they came in and destroyed that over a lie.
So I heard that it was the assault of a white elevator operator. I don't know, Sarah Page was her name, something like that. That they used to light this. Is there any truth to that?
No truth to the assault. The assault never happened. It was a accident. I've heard different stories of this young man tripping over the young lady's foot, and she screamed, and someone else came in and thought they saw something else happen differently, and they took that and ran with it. And it was just an opportunity for them to try to take us out, try to destroy a whole community and a race and a city.
So they had been planning this for a while. They were looking for something to light off.
For just something small to come in and destroy Little Black Wall Street.
Now, one of my thoughts are that had they known that Little Black Wall Street was really owned and controlled by the descendants of American slaves, do you think that would have made a different impact on their minds?
Made an impact on the people who started the race riot?
Yes.
They
didn't care. They didn't care about that. They didn't
care.
They saw the money.
They looked at color. You know, they looked at the color of our skin. It didn't matter. They have tried to hold us down and destroy our race for years, hundreds of years. And so this was the opportunity to do that.
Okay. Wow, this is so interesting. What I want to do, I got to take another commercial break, but I will be right back.
Really, one thing could throw you off your game completely, and you could be dealing with that hit for the longest.
So I grew up in the state of Missouri foster care system. I entered the system when I was 8, and I aged out at 21. And when you are a kid in care, you are exposed to so many of the challenges that this world has to offer.
It doesn't have to take you out. You can work it out. Take 5.
And you've got to find a way to, have a vision. And sometimes you have to borrow somebody else's vision for your life. And so, to take yourself out of that particular place, you can have barriers, you can have mountains, you can have challenges, but you can mount those walls. When you focus on others, good things happen for you.
Be determined to bounce back, one piece at a time. A setback is just a setup for a comeback. Take care of your mind, just like you do everything else. Be alive and well. Find out more about what you can do to bounce back. Go to aliveandwellstl.com.
Okay, we're back on the DAS Today Show, and we've got an awesome person sharing the inside with what happened down there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. All the stuff that we didn't get, we getting the real good deal. We got Sherry Smith with us online. Sherry, I got to get back to this question. I know you heard me say, Doc, you're working on me, so I got to go here. Black is not our proper race or culture name. Do you think if Black Wall Street would have been called the descendants of American slaves, Wall Street, do you think they would have survived and prosper?
I
know I'm working.
I don't think that we think of black like you have been educating me on that word black, that title that we use, because it is a color, and it's not even the color of our skin. But we have adopted this name and used it for centuries, and so I don't think that it would have mattered. I think educating us now and changing can help us prosper now, because we have even a different way of looking at who we are, and I think that education is a key to any success.
Okay.
Even in name.
I believe you because, see, just because how our country operates, America is a corporation that operates off of contract laws, codes, proper legal documentation, and proper documentation, again, is critical in the American society. So we're going to have to change it and get back because American slaves were America's firstborn descendants. She has had no other children, and therefore the American slave culture have birthrights. They owe the American slave culture $59 trillion. That's the number right about now. And so we don't want to leave nothing on the table. We're going to go get it because every group has been reparated. And because America is a nation of commerce, it's about business. Slavery was not personal. It was a business. And so it's going to take a business, to rectify it. And therefore, we must do things decently and in order. And because if we're going to do business, you got to have startup capital. And the American slave culture didn't have no startup capital when they kicked them, or forget that, abandoned them just right at the beginning of the industrial age. So we're going to have some startup capital so we can move forward and create businesses. And it takes me to another thought. Do you believe that Black Wall Street can be created again?
I do. Do other people? I feel like the sky is the limit. I believe that we are a very smart and educated and wise race of people now. We have the ability together to do anything. If it was done before, we can create that again. The key word is togetherness.
You said a mouthful, but when a people have never came together, I marvel with what you guys did down there in Black Wall Street. But when I believe Black Wall Street was a success, but it also was a failure. I say that to say that they were independent and not interdependent. And what I mean by interdependency is mutual dependency. I think we need to have Black Wall Street, or the descendants of American slave Wall Street, across the whole nation in every state. So
I agree.
They can all work together now interdependently. I think that's where we have to go. The concept worked. Phenomenal. But we now have to do it in a way that we have to expand it so it reach wherever the urban areas are, where the descendants of American slaves hang out. Help them to understand this process, which takes me to which gives me another thought. Do you see it happening in our lifetime? Do you think that we can make it happen? Or will it take another 160 years before this manifests itself? I know we got technology and social media, but wouldn't you like to see it happen on our terms and in our lifetime?
I would definitely like to see it happen in our lifetime and on our terms. Again, we were taught division. We were programmed to be a divided race, and we're still that way, from not just in Tulsa, here in the Greenwood district or Greenwood community, but all over our nation. We have our churches who we depended on very strongly in the civil rights movement that are completely divided. I know they're divided in our city. We can't even hardly get a church to even join the Chamber of Commerce. Everybody's having their own little separate things, programs and events, and no one's coming together. No one's supporting the Black-owned businesses. And our Black-owned businesses have to take even pride in their business so that people will want to support them. And so education, we have to educate with workshops and different things that people can learn how to. I guess we really need to be reprogrammed. Some people need to reprogram their minds and think alike. Because if we're thinking differently, we have trust issues. we don't trust. And we have to change all of that and get on the same page. And we can do anything. Through Christ, all things are possible.
Amen, my sister. You preaching to the choir now. You getting me fired up on this DAS
I am
Today
a
show.
minister.
Hey, me too. Now, having said all that, and I totally agree with you that it can be done and we can do it in this lifetime. And, right now we're shifting from an industrial-based society to a new knowledge-based economy. It's a whole different paradigm that we're in right now. And so it gives us an opportunity. The rules have not been really made yet for this new system. So I look forward to connecting, networking, and helping to add value to Greenwood. And I want that process to take place here in the St. Louis, Missouri area. Let's make a pact today that we're going to make it happen. We can do all things. It's been said when two or three come together and they get in agreement, so be it, it will happen. Do you believe that?
I do truly believe that.
Now,
I believe that.
I want to drop a little nugget on you because I'm so excited. How about we drop a American Slave Inc. headquarters down there right in the heart of Greenwood? Would you guys welcome that?
We would. We would welcome that. We would love to learn more about it. We want you. We welcome you to our city to come and share with us more information, so that we can be more knowledgeable about your work, what you're doing. And not just you, but those that are a part of Dr. G and the organization of descendants of American slaves. So,
American slaves.
Yes, and I think that I love that name. I'm doing my research on you right now. You send me a lot of information, and we would love for you to come.
Yeah, because
come and be a part and network with us.
Yeah, because
I think together we can do it.
We can make this happen. The vision of American Slave Inc. is really to create a society which honors the accomplishments, recognize the spirit, and uplift the images of the American slaves. A society that will explain to the descendants of slaves the advantage of them accepting their true identity, and then releasing them to truly seek economic emancipation into the mainstream of America. So our job is to educate, empower, and enlighten America on the plot and the promises of the descendants of American slaves, while creating strategies to identify true emancipation from government dependency, because government has been a part of the issue. But also, too, we're going to have to tell government what we want and on our terms as we begin to heal our community. And so I'm so excited about this. This is a divine hookup. It is an anointed, appointed day. And
I do believe that.
It is such an honor to have you on the Descendants of American Slaves show.
I am honored to be a part of this. My first radio interview. I am nowhere near close to a historian for the Greenwood District. Dr. Art Williams, our director and consultant here, is all of that. I'm standing in his stead. But I am so honored to be a part. I am so excited about our meeting on next Thursday, and we want to learn more. We want to invest. And we want to invest in you, and we want you to invest in us.
Y'all better fasten y'all seatbelt because we coming down to Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm so excited about it too. I didn't want to put it on the air, but hey, we might as well throw it out there. Tulsa is going to another level. Black Wall Street, or the descendants of American slave in Black Wall Street, has come together to make an impact on that community and drop something on the people so that they can see it and they can say, I'm in. We got to make this happen. I just share this with you. Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
Right.
So you tell the folks you tell the folks down there in Tulsa, Oklahoma, they better get ready. Dr. G is rolling down there with American Slave Inc. And it's going to be an honor to be able to come down and add value to the people. I want to just say thank you for taking time out your schedule today to spend some time with us. It's been a privilege and an honor.
Thank you for inviting us, and we look forward to personally meeting you and showing you around the city of Tulsa, but mainly the Greenwood district.
All right.
We have a T-shirt for you. We have a T-shirt for you, and we have some more souvenirs to give you once you get here.
All right. I'm coming. You done got me so excited. We've had today on our show Sherry Smith, the community liaison and the executive director of the Greenwood Chamber of Commerce down there in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street. We'll be back in just a moment with some parting words.
How can our listeners begin living their lives with focus on their physical, mental, spiritual health? What are some of those small steps that they can take?
Just developing a daily practice. If you make a list and decide these are the 3 things that I'm going to do because I know that when I do these things, I feel better, and then you go through your checklist every day, it becomes a habit. I would definitely recommend finding something that's uplifting or motivational that you can read or listen to every morning. We have no control over what happens once we hit the door, but we can prepare ourselves so that when we do encounter whatever arises, we're in a better emotional and mental state to deal with it. And then just a mental practice. One of the things is saying, I'm going to just pay attention to when I feel stressed out. And rather than saying, oh, I'm stressed, I'm actually going to say, wait, I'm stressed out. Why is it? And is there something I can do about it? So being intentional in those moments are 3 really simple, quick ways that you can incorporate today and use them throughout the year.
It's time to thrive. Be alive and well.
Today's show, the DAS Today Show, was sponsored by Life, Living, Learning, and Faith Every Day, an organization that's in the process of helping to empower the people in the community across our nation to move them from poverty, ignorance, dependency, and complacency to knowledge, wealth, and power. They've got training programs. Go out to their website, www.llife.org. That's www.llife.org. I'm your host, Dr. Gerald Higginbotham. Thank you for taking time out to listen today. I hope that you have been inspired to want to go to another level, to also engage with us. It takes teamwork to make the dream work, and we are inviting you to come on the journey with us. Hope you enjoy the show. Until next time, have a blessed and awesome day. You can get all the notes and comments from today's shows out at www.descendantsofamericanslaves.com. And I want to say thank you for taking time out your busy schedule to ride with us today. Please send us your questions, your comments, your thoughts, and we're on our way. Fasten your seatbelt. We have been cleared for takeoff. This is the Captain Good Doctor speaking, and we say welcome aboard.
To learn more about Descendants of American Slaves, Inc., visit descendantsofamericanslaves.com for the blog, more about the organization, to donate, hear testimonials, and become enlightened on the plight and promise of descendants of American slaves.